I established majority of my luxury collection in my early 20s, meaning I spend a lot of my 20s obsessing and spending a lot of my hard-earned money on luxury items such as shoes, accessories, and bags. I always had a love for fashion. Ever since I can remember, if you would ask my friends back home what's one thing that they remember about me, it's probably the fact that when you walked up to my apartment, I had probably 100 pairs of shoes, and I had to have them kind of in my hallway. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Germany, so apartment structures are a little bit different. But yeah, I had to have them in my hallway because I had so many shoes that they just didn't fit in my wardrobe. So yeah, I've always loved shoes, clothes, and bags, and from 16 to 18, it was Coach bags and Michael Kors. And then once I turned, I want to say like 19, 20, I started really getting into designer and luxury goods. Now, generally, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can afford it, why not? However, looking back on it, I do feel like it definitely wasn't the best decision. Now, if you think about when you got your first car, you're 16 or 18, depending on what country you're in. Imagine your first car being a luxury car. And maybe you're in college and it's probably not the smartest decision that you could make, right? So I've been thinking about this a lot, and today I just wanted to sit down and share 6 lessons that I've learned from starting my luxury collection at such a young age. And I hope that this video helps some of you out. Maybe you're in your early 20s and you're looking to get started. Maybe you're even older and you're looking to get started. But I feel like it was a really good experience, and it had a lot of looking back at it, I would do so much so different, and I just feel like I wanted to share that with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you're new here, give this video a thumbs up. Definitely leave me a comment down below. It really helps out my channel. I would appreciate it. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Okay, number 1, it was a mistake. 100% looking back at it now from a more mature point of view, it was definitely a huge, huge mistake. And I will obviously tell you guys why. Number 1, when you're that young, you haven't quite established your personal style yet. And regardless of what your financial situation is, if you haven't established your personal style and you don't really know what you love, chances are that you are going to buy a lot of things that you're not going to love years from now, even if they're classic pieces. They might be classic and they might be timeless, but they might not fit your personal style once you're a little bit older. And I didn't really realize this until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, right around when 29 years old, I would say. That's when I first looked at my collection and looked at the items that I had purchased and established, and was kind of I don't know that I love you. I don't know that you're my style anymore. And that is fine. We all evolve and we change, and that's such a beautiful thing. But when you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on these items, sure, you can resell them, but it's never a guarantee, okay? It's never a guarantee that you're gonna get your money back. Sometimes things go out of style. Sometimes things are hard to sell regardless of the brand, and that's just something that needs to be said. So you're gonna lose out on some money, and that is just a little frustrating, especially if you started out so early. So I would generally recommend maybe get one bag, but I wouldn't go crazy and buy tons of bags at such an early age, and then you end up with things you don't love anymore. Number 2 is buying pre-loved is okay. For a very long time, when I started getting into buying bags, I had this mindset that I didn't want to buy anything pre-loved. And I can't really tell you guys what it was, but I just looked at it as less of an accomplishment. I thought it would be a lot better if I bought the item new from the boutique. And looking back at it, that was such a silly thing to think, because you are doing a lot of amazing things by shopping secondhand. Just make sure that you are shopping with a trustable seller and the item is authentic, because unfortunately unfortunately. There are a lot of scammers out there. But yeah, that is one big lesson I learned. Buying pre-loved is absolutely okay. Moving on to number 3, selling items is okay. I held on to so many bags for so long because I didn't want to get rid of them. And I thought there was something wrong if I would get rid of them because I had purchased them and I was so happy when I purchased them, but I kind of just didn't want to let go. Once I started selling some of my bags, I felt so much better because that burden of going into my closet and hating some of the bags that I had, I literally would hate them, just kind of was lifted off my shoulders. The item was passed on to somebody that could love it a lot more. I had some money in my pocket that I could use now on things that I loved a lot more. So selling is definitely okay. Next up is you don't need to impress anyone. And owning luxury items doesn't make you any better or anything like that. And I think a lot of the times people don't want to admit this, but I think a lot of the times this crazy obsession with getting certain bags is solely to impress other people. I mean, if we look at the Hermes bag, for instance, a lot of people pull the trigger or want that bag without ever even seeing it in real life. Like, they have never held one, they have never touched it and actually really looked at it, yet they are obsessed with getting one. Isn't that a little bit strange? So I definitely was in that boat. I bought a lot of things and I thought the more things I would buy and the nicer bags I had, the greater people would look at me. And that's just not the case. It is not the case. You can put an amazing outfit together and look absolutely fashionable without even owning a designer bag. Next up is research. One big lesson I learned is to do your research. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but I can't talk about it enough. Research is so important. Research the material, research the leather, research the brand. Like, do your research before buying anything at all. Like, it will give you a peace of mind. It will just educate you on the purchase that you're about to make that's probably going to cost you a lot of money. So yeah, definitely do your research. Don't just buy things just because other people tell you to, you know? Especially, like, I feel like in today's world, we're just so consumed by social media and this consumerism. And sometimes it's just happened so quickly. Boom, we push a button and we just buy something without having done any proper research. Ask yourself if you will love this item forever. If I could go back to my younger self, I'd be like, Angelique, are you going to love this 5 years from now? Heck, are you going to love this a year from now? Is this something you could see yourself loving for a very long time? Will this make you happy for a long time? I would ask myself that every time. I never did. I just purchased and yeah, ended up not loving everything I own. Okay, and last but certainly not least is I don't regret it. So I, like, looking back on all of this, preparing this video and really thinking about this. I've been planning this video for weeks, you guys, and, you know, just really thinking about it and how I felt about everything. I definitely don't regret it because it gave me a lot of experience. It gave me a lot of experience, good and bad. It taught me a lot. It gave me a lot of knowledge. It helped me in my career. So it definitely is not something that I regret doing, but these are just lessons that I've learned and things that I would do different if I could talk to my younger self. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, again, give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Mwah.